Where are you now? When nothing's going right. Where are you now? When everyone's in a fight. Not this kid. And there's a video on how I was a gangster like my mama and my dad. Well, anyway, as you see, I have a later. Straight. No, it's straight. Oh, it's straight. No. Like this. I was gonna make a fire. Should I do it? Anyway. And then when I was 9 years old. Okay. This is a new show called Pussyfact.com. Wait, let me go do something. Let's say my ABC from Hillary. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. I'm with your friend, okay guys? Okay, okay? Hi, it's Fred! Hey, it's Fred, and guess what? I'm going to bed. I'm hot because I'm fly. You ain't because you're not. This is why I'm hot. I'm hot because I'm fly. You ain't because you're not. Ghost. Yo, here's a review on something that you do not know.